right, Virgo, Virgo sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all Virgos starting today, the 16th of June, 2023. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Jennifer, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Honeypaw. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you, Virgos and friends of Virgos, for joining us today. Let's see, I'm reading with this beautiful Tarot del Toro, and I hope you enjoy it. And I've already purified with this gorgeous Vervain by Panier des Sens. And you can find links to those products in the video description of this very video on my YouTube channel. Virgos, sun sign, rising sign, moon sign. Yes, 2-week reading for all you Virgos. It does go out to a lot of Virgos. Oh, before I even get into that, I'm shuffling for a couple minutes here. So if you're watching this on a restream on YouTube, you don't feel like listening to me blab while I shuffle, you can fast forward right to the reading by using the timestamps right in the video description. Anyway, Virgo, there's a lot of Virgos that are eventually going to watch this, so it may not be for all of you. So if it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, don't push it. It could just not be your reading. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs. Or remember that we have a general reading for all signs each and every Monday, and I have a weekly pick a card reading once a week. So there's plenty of opportunities to get readings from me if this one doesn't seem to be perfectly right for you. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of merchandise. It's an affiliate store, so we get a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support. Another way to support us is by sending a donation, and you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you could use a super sticker or super chat if you feel like giving us a donation. And if you're on a restream, you could use a super thanks. If you are on YouTube, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Not too hard, because you don't want to break your computer. And then also, if you are on Twitch, make sure that you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch us on Twitch without any ads simply by subscribing to us there. All right, my darlings, I am super excited to see what's in this 2-week reading for all of you gorgeous, fabulous, beautiful, amazing Virgos. All right, here we go. Let's just take a look-see, shall we? I could just keep shuffling forever, but then you wouldn't get your reading, so I'm not going to do that. I used to just sit and shuffle my tarot cards and never read them. It was so funny. I would take a whole day just shuffling. Finally, I decided to read them. Okay, let's see. We've got 4 of Wands. We've got a 9 of Cups. And we've got a 3 of Swords. All right, let's take the icky one first, okay? It's not my favorite card, the 3 of Swords. It's nobody's favorite card because it's pain. It's regret. It's grief. And that's normal in this world. Welcome to life, pain, regret, and grief. 101A, welcome to Earth. And it's just going to always be there. It's always going to be there. But what we have to do is find a balance where we're not avoiding going through what we got to go through. Because if your grief is over like the loss of a loved one or a pet or something like that, you can't rush through that. There's no rushing through that grief, right? But you can also grieve in a way where you're not all consumed by it, where you realize that it's not all or nothing like it appears to be. The end of a relationship or something like that, it just seems like, why are you happy? Don't you know how bad my life is, right? But it's because it's not all bad. There is no universal grief happening, and this is important to understand because of this 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is a satisfying card. The 9 of Cups is a card of satisfaction and of things coming into your life, you being magnetic to things in your life that are really good for you. Now, you're also magnetic to things in life that aren't so good for you, because that's how magnetism is. And it's all based on the kinds of emotions and images that you entertain and that you harbor and that you give the most attention and love and care to. So don't think of it as like, oh, well, then I can't have grief because then I'm going to pull in more things to be, to grieve over. No, What you do is you focus on why you're grieving. You're not grieving just because you feel like being in pain. You're grieving because it appears that something you loved is gone. So it's the love, even though it's still painful. We're not saying just avoid the pain, but it's the love that's the important part. And it's the love that is causing the grief. And it's the love that's going to expand ultimately. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but ultimately it's the love that's going to expand. And so you go ahead and do what you have to do and feel what you have to feel, but don't abuse yourself with it. Recognize that it's your capacity, Virgo, to love that seems to be the reason why you're in pain, but it's not the pain it's not the love causing the pain. It's your perception of a loss of love that's causing the pain. Now we've got this 4 over here, which is talking about getting things in order and getting things finished that have been, that are incomplete. And it's especially getting things in order in regards to things that are really important to you. And what that does is if you get busy, it does help you to process the grief in a constructive way. Rather than just sitting and feeling the pain and doing nothing but that, you can sit and feel the pain and get stuff cleaned up, get stuff in order, get to work. And working through grief is not an avoidance technique. I mean, it can be, anything can be, but it's not. Working through grief is a way to work through it. You can actually get busy in your life doing things that are very, very productive. And you love to do that anyway. So you get busy doing things that are very, very productive, and you at the same and as a way to honor whatever it is that you're grieving. Now, not all of you, I don't think, are dealing with loss on that kind of a profound level, like where somebody died or a relationship has ended. So it may not be quite that big of a thing for you, but it still hurts just as much. It still hurts. So you don't want to diminish your own grief by comparing it to other people. Just because you know what that's like when you're in a grief group and it seems like everybody is trying to outdo each other with, well, I've got the biggest. It's not about who's got more to grieve over or whose grief is bigger. What's important is that you need to honor why it hurts. The reason it hurts is because of all of the love that you think you've lost, but you haven't. You haven't lost that love. That love is still within you, and it's growing. It's growing, and it's attracting more things for you to love. So give yourself a lot of time, a lot of space if you're going through anything painful, and recognize the reason why it's painful is because of good reasons, not bad reasons. And that this pain is going to subside. This too shall pass, and in the meantime, you're going to use it. You're going to make it meaningful in a really positive way. Just like when remember the very first Fame movie, if I'm dating myself, but that movie Fame, and the girl was really disappointed in something, and she said, I'm going to remember this and use it in my acting. And it's sort of what we have to do. We have to remember what we're going through and use it in our lives to keep us compassionate, to keep us grateful for things, right? This is that 2 of Cups, which is you being so impatient with yourself. There's no reason for you to be impatient with yourself. 6 of Swords, 5 of Wands. Oh, I like the 5 of Wands. You don't need to be impatient with yourself, Virgo. You're right in the right place, doing the right thing, right at the right time. Nobody gets to rush you, including you. There's no rushing. You're perfect just the way you are. That's not just a platitude. It's the cosmic truth about you. You are perfect exactly as you are right now. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to rush yourself. Rushing yourself is a way to avoid. Let yourself be who you are right now. I know that's easy to say, but it's the truth. You deserve that from yourself. You don't need to change yourself. You don't need to fix yourself. There's no fixing necessary. But you can call on that higher power. You can call on what I call the solar light to help you, to help ease this pain, to lift you out of the pain of this grief, and to allow you to process it in a way that's really good for you. really healthy for you, and recognize all of the positive aspects of it, which are like what we said before, all the love that is in your heart. That's the reason why it hurts. So all that love is still there. Now, this 5 is wonderful. I love the 5 of Wands because it's the fire of Mars in a very positive place. It's where anger gets its good name. You know, if you're depressed, if you're feeling bad about something, sometimes anger is exactly what you need to pull you up out of the depression and get you busy. Get you busy. Again, it's not to avoid what you're feeling, but it's to not get it's not to allow yourself that defeatist attitude. If something's upsetting you, if something's making you mad, lean into it. Get busy. Do like I do. This is you getting in order. This is more getting things in order usually in your office and unfinished tasks, but wherever that order needs to happen. If I'm angry, put me in the messiest room in the house and it's going to be gorgeous by the time I'm done, because that's how I process my anger. I always have. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to do. If you're angry, it's going to propel you to get things done that are in your power to do. And this solar light card here, this of the swords, the 6 of swords, is you calling on a higher power to do the things that you can't do for yourself. Once again, with that serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When you say accept the things I cannot change, that just means accepting that it's not up to you to change them, not that they can't be changed. But you have to call upon a higher power to do for you everything you can't do for yourself, and then get busy doing the things you can change yourself. So that way you're not stuck in that stymie. You're not stuck in that place where you feel paralyzed because, well, I can't do anything. Well, no, you can't do everything. You can do something, but the things you can't do, and the things that are really painful, and those places where you feel paralyzed and helpless, those things are not for you to fix. Those things are not for you to fix. But they are not. That doesn't mean that you just have to bear the burden. It means that you call upon that higher power to do for you what you cannot do, and then you get busy. And if you get angry and you get mad and you get impatient with yourself, this 5 is saying, instead of just being impatient with yourself, channel that energy, channel that into getting things in order in your life where they can be, where you do have control all the time, all the while, calling on that higher power to take care of all of these other things that are beyond your power, right? Recognizing that the only reason you're feeling this pain to begin with is because of all that love you have the capacity of experiencing. So we're not going to make love wrong because we're feeling pain. We're going to lean into that love and recognize that love is pulling a lot of good towards you. So even in the midst of any of this grief that you're experiencing, that magnetism is still your best friend. So you're doing really well. I know that some of you are going through it right now. Maybe not all of you as badly as others, but this is not always a bad thing. Sometimes when we are at our most vulnerable is when we have the capacity to make the greatest change for the better in our lives. And with that solar light on your side, you have no choice but to win. Calling on that solar light, you may want to check out one of my solar light meditations if you have the chance, and maybe work with that over the next couple of weeks if it's something that sounds interesting to you. But whatever you do, calling on that higher power each and every day to do for you what you can't do. Get busy doing the stuff you can and get off your own case. You're doing great. Thank you so much for being here. I will be back in 2 more weeks for another reading. Thank you so much, Jennifer and Honeypaw, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Virgo, blessed be.